Hello everyone, hopefully you are all doing well. In this video I provide you with some info on how to get to Waterton National Park, that's in Alberta, Canada. We also show you some breathtaking scenery driving there and some other tidbits of information that may be helpful. We will have another video coming in the near future showing you some more highlights and what activity we did while there, so perhaps subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos, and in the meantime check out our variety of other videos on our channel. Anyways, let's get into this one here. The journey from Calgary to Waterton is a great drive for many Albertans and tourists alike. The far southwestern destination of Waterton Lakes National Park isn't always typically high on everyone's radar, and certainly we get it. Why make the drive from Calgary to Waterton when you have Banff right next door, right? What do you think? But believe us, it's worth the scenic drive and the wonderful landscape, plus the variety of things you can actually do in Waterton. As we just drive along here, we'll give you some more tidbits of info and let you know how exactly to get there. As a starting point, I selected Calgary, and you go south and take highway number 2 towards Nanton, Claresholm, towards Fort Macleod. Then you turn west on highway number 3, and then eventually you turn south again on highway 6 towards Pincher Creek and Waterton. So there's a couple other ways, but I think that's the easiest, the most direct way to get there, unless you're very familiar with the area. It's about 2.5 to 3 hour drive out of Calgary, or close to 300 kilometers one way. Now for our American friends, that's about 185 miles. Now right now we are heading west on highway number 3 already. You see the Rocky Mountains on the horizon there, and beautiful southern rolling hills of the Alberta landscape. With that said, this trip can be a day trip or perhaps overnight stay at one of the hotels or campgrounds in the park or surrounding the park. But if you do plan to stay overnight, I highly recommend to book in advance, as in the summertime it's very busy and you may don't find a place to stay. While we are driving here and admiring the landscape, please don't forget to like, subscribe. If you have questions, please let us know. If you want to add something, that's welcome as well. And maybe a question I throw in here, and leave the answer in the comments. When was Waterton National Park established in Canada? So what year was the park established? If you know, or if you want to take a guess on it, just let us know in the comments. While we are still on the drive there, with this being a mountain park, you know how it is in the mountains, the weather can change very quickly and the nights might be a bit cool, even in the summer. I guess it all depends what you're used to, what kind of weather. But in any case, make sure you are prepared. You have enough jackets and clothing, whether it's going to be hot or a bit on the cooler side, depending which time of year you go there. And if you plan to do a little bit of hiking, please ensure you're also prepared for bear safety and your safety, and what to do, what not to do, and what perhaps you should have with you. So very important. As you can see here, there's a lot of windmills on the way towards the park as well in southern Alberta, as quite often it's very windy. What I should also mention is, with this being a Canada National Park, you do need to buy a park pass in order to enter the park, and you can do that actually at the park entry gates. You can get a day pass or purchase a yearly pass, and the yearly pass will give you access to all national parks in Canada, and as it already says, yearly pass for 365 days, so for an entire year. So maybe worthwhile considering. Here we are just driving through Pincher Creek, and after Pincher Creek on the way to the park, so we are not that far away anymore. Check out these mountains that are coming up here, and excuse the odd buck smear on the windshield here, but it was a buggy day, I guess, if I can put it that way. But anyways, a bit more info about the park here. We're getting closer and closer, as you can see, at 505 square kilometers. Again, in miles, that's about 195 square miles. Waterton Lakes National Park is the smallest national park in the Canadian Rockies. It was established in 1895 as Canada's 4th national park. If that's some kind of information that interests you and you didn't know, now you do. It sits in the southwest corner of the province in Alberta, that is, where the Rocky Mountains get closer to the prairies in rolling hills, and eventually it gets all flat if you go further east. And the park has a big mix of plants and animals. Apparently half of Alberta's native plants are within its boundaries. This one here is a bison enclosed park, so with a little bit of luck you may find some bisons in there as well. Certainly worth a drive through. And here we arrived in town. You see Waterton Lake, and it was a very windy day. I think we had wind gusts up to 80 kilometers. I'm not sure if that's about 60-65 miles, so it was extremely windy and rainy a lot of times as well. As I said, it's a mountain park. We are early June, as you can see by the trees. The leaves just actually slowly start to come out in full force. Where did I left off with the park? The park and lake itself also crosses into the United States, and in 1932 Waterton Lakes National Park was combined with Glacier National Park in Montana to form Waterton Glacier International Peace Park, and it was the first of its kind in the world, and it's also these days it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a beautiful place to visit. Here we have a little guest dropping by for a visit. But back to the park again. The park may be small, as I just mentioned. Here you see the campground, and this campground was right within the town itself. But even though it's small, it's packed with a variety of things you can do. You know, example, hiking, windsurfing, boating on one of the lakes. So it's a good location also for spotting wildlife, and if you're into wildflowers. Here you see the Prince of Wales Hotel. We'll cover this more in one of our subsequent videos, so make sure you stay tuned to us. The village of Waterton is a year-round population of about 100 people. So it's quite small, as you can see here. We are kind of right downtown, and you have certainly enough opportunities for a quick snack or even a dinner in town. So it's not an issue whatsoever. Here's a coffee shop. Now keep in mind, some of these businesses are seasonal, and it's relatively mellow, especially off season, and some of these businesses close down for the winter and don't reopen again until May the following year then. Again, this is the beginning of June. We had to make a quick pit stop as it was relatively cold, and we had to get a toque and some gloves or mitts or whatever you may call them, the part of the world you are in. But it was only about +5 or 6, and again the wind was pretty strong, so we had to get dressed a little bit warmer, and believe me, we are used to colder weather. Here we are, kind of all bundled up. As you can see, there's not many tourists around yet at this time of year, but that pretty soon changes the minute the school holidays are out. Now around the corner here is the town's RCMP police station. So thanks for watching. Check back in with us for some more info and some more videos about our visit to Waterton. Thank you. See you again soon.